Hi everyone, and I am glad that you made it to the third video and welcome back. Hey, yes, it's configuring for the new Ethos 1.6. It's quite long, but just to put it this way, after you doing it once or twice, it will be natural and faster setup once you are familiarized with it. So let's get started to calibrate and configure the stabilizer for our receiver on our F-22 Raptor. So right, let's move on and get on to our radio. Okay, and first of all, we're going to be using our receiver is an Archer Plus SR8, and it's an 8-channel, and it's already bound to the radio, and it was done on the part 2 of our video. So let's power up and verify that if we have the latest firmware here. Okay, so let's connect the power to the receiver, and it's already bound, of course. And I'm gonna flip the switch and power up the receiver here. Power up here, and it's green, so it's bound to this radio. Both receiver and radio are bound. Okay, and you can verify that on the setting here and go to info, and it's there 1.6. And if you don't have it, please refer to the part 1 series that I show on the screen here to do it. Okay, so that looks good. So let's move on to our model flight here. So model and mix here, and we've create the model files for our airplane right here already with aileron, elevator, throttle, rudder, and of course the gain adjustment and the mode 1 and 2 for stabilizer. Okay, so it's important that you have this created, and if you're not, please refer to the part 2 series, okay, that I reference here on the screen. And here I made a note for myself. Here is my F-22 Raptor setup with the Archer SR8 Plus. Okay, and of course I have 8 pin here, and I have aileron, elevator 1 and 2, which is for Teleron, right? The aileron is Y harness, okay, and the flap is Y harness also, and same thing as a rudder Y harness, and there's a gear, okay, and throttle reverse. I'm not gonna worry for that right now. And channel 126 belong to bank 1, and that will control by the stabilizer feature, and of course following the AETR of FrSky. Okay, and the gyro gain is down here, and mode is stabilizer, and emergency mode we're not going to use that for now. Okay, so don't need to worry about channel 16 here, and that is the setup for the model file. Then the next step is I'm going to finish the model file, and I'm going to add gear and flap to it. So here just I'm going to we have flap already, so just edit this. So on the flap, I'm going to have the input, set up input as this switch here. Please use whatever switch you want. I like SB. I'm going to set up a curve. Let's do this, and it's an add here, and I'm going to name it flap curve. Okay, you can name whatever you like, and for that I'm going to make it a custom 3-point curve. Okay, and 3-point for takeoff and landing flap. I'm going to make it smooth, and the point here, it should show here. Okay, there we go. Okay, and 1, 2 is I'm going to make it a negative. I want to scroll down, negative 30. Okay, I don't want to make it too much. Okay, so that's for takeoff, and the other point is for landing, so I'm going to make it maybe twice, make it minus 60 here. Okay, so that we have the curve that we're going to use. Okay, so that's good. So slow up, make it slow 3 seconds so it doesn't mess up the servo, and same thing is for slow down, make it easy 3 seconds. Okay, here we go, 3 seconds. Okay, and channel count is 1, and the output is channel 5 flap already, and the weight I'm just gonna make it 60% for now. Okay, so that's done with the flap assignment. Okay, and that is SB channel 5. Okay, that looks good, and I want to try move the flap up right behind the rudder here. So let me do that. Oh, here we go, move, and I'm just gonna hit that button to scroll it up here. Yeah. Okay, to make it neat and look orderly fashion. Okay, so that's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that looks fine to me. And now I'm going to add the gear. Okay, so I'm going to do a free mix add here, and I'm going to add it right after the flap. Okay, I'm going to name it gear. So let's backspace here and rename it to gear. Okay, active condition is always on. Source, I'm going to select this switch here. Okay, that's my preference, and the action is fine, leave it alone. And channel count, output is channel 7 is the gear. That's what we set up. Okay, so now we have everything set up: aileron, elevator, rotor, flap, and gear setup. So we'll finish with our model file setup right now. Just reflect what the note that I had before. Perfect. So then the next step is to calibrate the receiver. So click on system here, and under that there's a device config icon. Select that. Please note that if you don't have this screen on the radio, that means you did not download the correct Lua script onto your radio, and that was shown in part 2 video. Please refer to it on the screen here if you have not done so. Okay, so then next, okay, so under here let's select receiver here to calibrate. Okay, and go to stabilizer config, and here we need to go, and of course our receiver are connected and bound already. Okay, so let's go to configuration and reset everything in the beginning. Hit reset, start here, and hit start, and that is done. Just to reset everything. Okay, and here go to stabilizer config again and hit 6-axis calibration. Open this, and now it tells you to place the receiver like so. Okay, first of all, place it like that and calibrate and wait till it says done. Now it tells you to flip it over backward. Okay, so I'm going to do it right here. Okay, hit calibrate, and it said done. Okay, now it's set to position it vertically. So I'm going to use this box here and press to it to make it vertical with pin facing the top. Okay, I'm going to select calibrate here, and that is good. Now it's going to tell you to place the pin down, so I'm going to do that. Okay, I'm going to hit calibrate here, and that is successful. Now it tells you to place the pin on the side like so. Okay, and let me show you. Okay, I'm going to press calibrate here. Okay, and now it tells you with the pin to the left, so I'm going to turn that around here. It's important that you do this correctly, otherwise if it's failed you have to redo it. Okay, so next just hit calibrate, and it said calibration finished successfully. So now we've done calibrate the receiver successfully. So on to the next step, and finally we can install the receiver onto our plane. And here we have the Archer Plus SRA that's gonna go into the plane like so, and all of these servo wires look like a rat nest. And of course I'm going to refer to my note here to install the wire correctly to all the pins on the receiver. Okay, so FreeWing had this additional extension box in it, but I'm going to remove it and to clear some space, and using the wire harnesses to connect all the necessary wires to the channel pin. And so it's gonna go into here. Okay, and let me go and connect all the pins. Alright, so then afterward it looks something like this, much better than before. All the pins are connected to the receiver, and channel 7 is the gear and the 8 is the throttle reverse. I'm not going to use it for now. Okay, so let's move on to our next step. So right, on this next step we can power up and verify the surface movement on our plane. So I power up already, and I'm going to bring down the gear here to make it easy for my plane to settle flat on the ground, on the table here. Okay, so I brought down the gear and it's ready. Okay, so now I'm going to verify the surface movement. Okay, and we are connected to the receiver, and battery is connected. Alright, receiver is green. So let's check here and let's move the rudder here and see correctly, and I'm moving the rudder to the left and it's wrong, to right and it's wrong. So it's okay, all these movement you just want to verify that it's working, but for the direction, don't worry about it. We'll come back to this later. So we just want to verify all the pin is connected correctly and the movement is there. Okay, so on to step number 5, level calibration and stick center and range calibration. So we have the plane with the landing gear down to make it level, okay? Okay, on our radio, under system, select system here and device config, and we have our Lua script here. So let's click on receiver here, and here press stabilizer config, and under here let's do the group 1 calibration. That's all we need. Channel 1 to 6 for group 1, bank 1, okay? Okay, so let's zoom out here and we're gonna start off with level calibration here. So let's start that and then hit OK so it can level and check the gyro right now. Okay, so press select here, okay, and it's gonna say finish and done. Okay, so that's good. Then we can move next to the stick center calibration here. So guys, be careful not to center the throttle, otherwise your plane will fly off. Okay, so continue and hit OK here, and calibration is finished for that. Hit OK. Okay, next stick range calibration here. Okay, so let's select OK here. Okay, and just move the stick around like so, and again on the throttle side just move the rudder to the, on the left side move the rudder all the way left and all the way to right, but don't move the throttle up, otherwise your plane will fly up again. Okay, so hit OK here, and that's done. So everything is done for that part. Okay, so on to step 6 for config the stabilizer. Okay, so before we begin, let's remember this mode switch we had set up in our model file. Go to model, then mixer, and here scroll down and we had stabilize mode 1 set to channel 14 SE switch. So here if we switch the flip toward us, it is gyro off. If the switch is in the middle, it is gyro on stabilization, similar to Spectrum AS3X. And if the switch is flipped down away from us, it is auto self-level mode. So to begin step 6 calibration, let's have the SE switch flip down to auto level mode. Okay, so back to our calibration here. Under receiver, select stab config. Then for group 1, click configuration and hit reset here. We don't have channel need for configuration for group 2, so ignore that. Then wing type is, under wing type is normal, and the mount is horizontal for our setting. Then we go through each channel mode to see if it is mapped correctly. For instance, aileron is channel 1, and channel 2 is elevator 1, and channel 3 throttle is not there, so that's good. Channel 4 is rudder, and 6 is elevator 2, but for flap channel 5, we need to set it to aux here, and it's because we don't want the gyro to affect our flap. Okay, and checking my note here. Okay, and that looks good. So, and now we can move on to verify the gyro effect on each channels. Okay, then instead of moving and checking the plane to see the gyro effect on each channel, instead I'm just gonna move the receiver left, right, up, down, sideways to see the effect here. Okay, and reverse each channel if the gyro effect is not correct. So again, make sure the mode switch SE is set to auto level. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, so playing with the receiver here, very sensitive here. Okay, so if the plane is rolling to the left, you can see the stabilizer also has the aileron surface of rolling to the left also. So that compensation of auto leveling is not correct. So go to our radio and set the aileron invert to have the right stabilizer effect. Oh, that's not what I want to select here. Okay, need to select the aileron invert. Okay, here it is. Okay, and set that to off. on the receiver. Okay, so go to the receiver and roll to the left, and aileron surface movement compensating, rolling back to the right, and the stabilizer is behaving correctly. And the same thing, roll to the right, behavior is correct. Okay, so that looks good for the aileron movement. And next, check the elevator surface. Okay, so receiver plane is pitching down and both elevator is compensating incorrectly. Same, pitching up and compensating incorrect. Okay, so same thing. Go to our radio and look for the both elevator 1 invert and elevator 2 invert and set it to off here. Okay, and go back to our receiver and check it. It should behave correctly now, as when receiver plane is going down, the elevator is compensating up, and the same for pitching up. Behavior is correct, and that looks good. Okay, then now check the rudder for yaw movement. As receiver plane yaw to the right, both rudder move sort of to the right. It's hard to see here, but you can adjust the pot 1 sensitivity up to test this. Right now it is set at the pot 1 is center position. If you want more sensitivity, you can turn the knob toward clockwise, so we have more sensitivity. Now it's at the center position, but this is incorrect, so I'm going to reverse the rudder also and set it to off here, and let's check it again, and that looks right. It was yaw to the right, okay, and then it's compensation correctly. Okay, so that looks good for rudder also. Okay, then next we check the start mode of gyro stabilization only, which is setting the SE switch to the center position. Again, if it is hard to see, you can turn the pot up higher for more gain and sensitivity. And we do the same thing, moving the receiver and verify the surface is stabilized and compensating correctly here. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, yep, all surface movement correctly, compensating correctly here. Okay, and lastly, we can set the SE switch to off, which is no gyro mode here, and move the receiver around and see it should have no effect at all. Okay, alright, so then now we're done with configuration the stabilizer, and it is complete and we are good. Right, so after stabilizer configuration is complete, we need to go back and verify the normal mode. So flip our SE switch back to normal and onto our radio, and we need to check our aileron stick here. Okay, so let's move the aileron here and see if it rolls correctly. So I'm going to turn the aileron to the right and check the aileron there. So that's not correct. It's behaving opposite. Okay, same thing, go to the left, and it's not correct. So in our normal mode here, we need to go back to the radio here and change that, and go to model here. Okay, and there's output, and under aileron we just switch the direction to reverse here. Okay, and check it again, aileron roll to the right, and let's see, and it's correct, it's behaving correctly. Roll to the left, and left is up. Okay, so that's perfect. Okay, so do the same thing here for the elevator. Okay, let's check the elevator going down. So stick down, that means pitching is up, and that is not correct. Okay, same thing here, just go to the channel here and look for the elevator. We have two of them. Elevator 1, direction reverse, same thing as the other elevator. Okay, elevator 2 here, and switch the direction to reverse and verify it again. Check the elevator. Okay, pitching going up, and that is correct. Okay, and down, up, and stick to up, I mean going down, pitching going down, and that's the correct behavior. Okay, and same thing here. Check on the rudder here. Okay, rudder to the right. Let's see if yaw correctly. Rudder to the right here, and that is correct. So we don't need to flip the channel output here. So that looks good to me. Okay, so on our radio, back to the main menu and final checking here. Okay, and with the SE to no gyro mode here, so we can do regular surface checking here. On our radio, check aileron right, left, that's good. Check elevator down, up, looks good. And rudder right, left, looks great. And next, for stop mode checking, okay, let's flip the SE to auto level here and check our plane. Okay, bring up our plane. Alright, let's show it. Okay, roll right, stop, compensation, good. Roll left, looks good. Pitch down, and elevator behave correctly. Pitch up, looks good also. Let's yaw right, rudder move left. And yaw left here, and rudder looks good. And that looks gravy to me. And that is it. We had complete the whole setup process for Ethos 1.6 setup with the latest radio and receiver firmware. Congratulations if you made it this far, and thank you for staying with me through the 3 video series, guys. Thank you for watching, and if you find it helpful, share it with your friend and help support my channel by subscribing. Again, thanks for watching and take care. See you at the flying field, everyone.